Odebomi Segun is my name. I represent the good people of Ogulu as Surulere Federal Constituency, and to the glory of God. Chairman's Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Values. Honestly speaking, if I will be frank with you, it has been very, very tough. For the government of this nation, either the executive, legislative arm, or the judiciary, it has been very tough for Nigeria this time around. It might be connected to a lot of reasons, but attending to the demands of the masses, attending to the demand of the elite, even the common people, honestly speaking, it has been very difficult. And why it is so difficult in the sense that it's like the demands of the masses, the demand for the infrastructures, everything's are going in the high side, coming to in the high side. But the resources to meet all this demand, it's like it's coming in a very low rate that you cannot match the incoming resources with the demand of the needs of the present situation of the country, and that makes it very, very difficult. It might not be unconnected to the economic situation of the world entirely. You know, we are just coming out from the problem of the economic when the issue of this pandemic came in. So it destabilized a lot of things. Apart from the established problems facing the nations, it is the duties of the National Assembly and whoever is elected into the office to perform its duty, either in the executive arm, the judiciary arm, or the legislative arm. Whatever situation you find yourself, you must carry out your duty because it's the constitutional rule. And apart from that, whatever situation we find ourselves, government must continue. And you are sworn in for a specific period of time. So either you like it or not, your time is winding up on daily basis. So you must struggle to whatever you can do to make sure at least your promises to the people, because you can't get to this office just by mere appointment. You campaign to the people, you promise some things to the people. So to that effect, you must do everything humanly possible to make sure at least, if not 100% of your promises, at least 50% of your promises must be fulfilled. And so to that effect, those are the reasons why we will be struggling to make sure at least our people, we are able to serve them no matter how the situation difficult we find ourselves. And that's exactly what we are doing. Well, as regards the impact of what we have been doing in the last few years to the people of the nation, you know, it's only when you are able to identify what you lack, then you know the importance of what you are able to achieve. For example, what happened in Kogi State during the last election? After the election, the unfortunate incidents of the former governorship candidate of the party, of APC party. You know, there's no even constitutional provision to cure that incident or to give solution to what will happen if that kind of thing happens. Nobody even think of it that something of that nature can happen. But because the National Assembly is in place to make law for the good governance of the nations, so we are able to come up with, okay, what can we do in case of future occurrences? God forbid. But anything can happen. And that is why I'm saying whatever the National Assembly is doing has a very huge impact in the life of this nation, even in the life of Nigerians. Then apart from that, legislations, let me tell you the real fact. It's only when you can flash back to the doing when there's no legislative arm of government within the system of governance in the country. Then you know what is called autocracy in the system. No matter how being difficulties, no matter how you can be feeling that democracy is not, we are not, the government of the day are not really doing good. No matter how, it's far, far better than the best military government or autocracy government. Because it's the symbol, it's the only hand that describe it as a civilian government. For example, no matter how, either the president like it or not, before he can be able to spend anything from the purse of this nation, he must submit his budget to the National Assembly. It's one of the checks. In the course of the implementations of the budget, the National Assembly can go on oversight to check how have they been making use of the resources of this nation to the benefit of the nation. If there's need for questioning, the National Assembly will question. If you remember, the former SGF, this matter came up with the National Assembly. When there's even nobody had got even to challenge him then. Nobody can do that. But because the law gives the National Assembly power to challenge, to ask questions, they were able to put the question across. And some fact was revealed. And at the end of the day, you can see what happened. So what I'm trying to say is that the impact of the legislative cannot be overemphasized in the course of governance. If you are really talking about the democracy in the nation. We continue to say this. Whoever cares to agree with me can agree, and whoever don't care, well, it's an opinion. And I stand to be corrected. In the last few years of being around the governance, I can say precisely that if not for the constituency project, maybe my own constituency will not even have a single taste of the federal government impact. But through the federal constituency project, through my office to my constituency were also able to feel that they are part of this country. Because if I want to start counting, I cannot even mention all. In terms of rural electrifications, in terms of water provisions, in terms of, like you what just said, radio stations of the Radio Nigerians, all those things. If not for the federal constituency provisions from the government, honestly speaking, it will not be easy for us to have the impact of the federal government in my constituency. You know, I stand to be challenges. To the best of my knowledge, I've never seen a document called a plan work in developing this nation. In Lagos State, we have ever heard of it that they have a plan book, which every government that comes in usually follow for the development of Lagos State. So when we have a document for that, that will have a laid down route that, okay, if you finish this road this year, next year you move to this road, you move to this side. So through that arrangement, every part of the state will be feeling the impact of the government. But for the whole nations, have you ever heard of any document for Nigeria planning? No. It's yearly program, which is the national budget. And the national budget does not have any particular rule that this is how it must be done. So it now depends on how the representative of that area can be moving, can be lobbying with the addition of his own federal constituency project, so that his people can feel the impact of the government. Those who have their constituency are in the city, definitely they will have the impact, because the federal government, for example, some people are representing Abuja. So you can see the impact of the federal government in Abuja. So it's concerned basically on the villages, on the rural area. But for us from the rural area, it's very difficult. But upon all, we are trying so that our people can feel the impact of government. We are trying to let them know that, yes, we are part of this Nigeria, and we must be feeling the impact of the country. National Assembly is like a center whereby many routes, you can take, it has many routes that lead to it. But when you get there, all of you who find yourself to get into the Halo chamber for that period of time, you must work together. Because you have only one speaker, one deputy speakers, and the principal officers. And you know, the laid down rules even give the minority a kind of recognition by giving them the leadership too. So with that, the majority house will have their own leadership, the minority will have their leadership. And in any decisions, there's need for us to also have the input of the minority needs. So with that, we need to work together. And whenever we find ourselves there, we always see ourselves as a brothers and sisters. And an injury to one is an injury to all of us. So, and based on that, we always work together to give Nigerians the best. And that does not stop us from debating from the fact that if you see something negatively and your colleagues see it positively, you put it across to us. If you can prove beyond reasonable doubt that your position is the best, then your colleagues can reason along with you. But if you cannot, at the end of the day, the majority will have their way and the minority will have their say. That's just it. There's a cordial relationship within the executive and the legislature for this assembly, the 9th assembly. We have a very, very cordial relationship with the executive. Because I won't deceive you, a kind of governance that failed to sustain a cordial relationship with the executive and legislatures, honestly speaking, for the masses of that nation to get the right dividend of democracy is always difficult. A journey of a day could take that executive a month, and that means a lot in the terms of a governance. In a kind of good relationship we are, the executive can send a document to the assembly, and within short period of times, they can easily get what they are requesting. But in a situation where you don't have a cordial relationship, even to release it there, it has at times be difficult. And who now feel the impact is the masses. And that is why at the beginning of this administration, we are calling for a cordial relationship within the executive and the judiciary, because we all work together during the campaign. We campaign to the people, we promise people. So how do we deliver our promise to the people? Imagine what we are passing through presently with the situations all over the world, economic down through all this one. So if a cordial relationship is not on ground with this government, that means it will be very difficult. But we thank God, at least so far so good, we are enjoying a good relationship with the executive. We continue delivering the good dividend of democracy to the Nigerians. And like I said in the beginning of this interview, I said there's a lot of challenges. You know, a lot of people are calling for new constitution. A lot of people are calling for, even calling the president's constitutions a kind of document that was come up with the lies, all those things. The foundations is very fine. But we still need to appreciate our founding father, because at least today we are enjoying democracy. Today, You can speak anywhere against the president, against anybody in the governance, and nobody will harass you. But if you flash back, it has never been happened like that. I could remember in those days, during the UPN, NPN, our vote are not even counting. Some people will determine who win elections, and they will determine how the ballot boxes will be full, and nothing will happen. They will rule for that 4 years. But today, our votes are counting. So all we need is we need a little patience. You know, the constitution, the amendment of the constitution that is going on, mind you, there's no specific numbers. I always call for the people who are calling for the new constitution. What are those things that you are thinking it is not available in the present constitution? Make it available. Send it to the National Assembly. These are the things. You know, I pursue one act in the last assembly. That act was sent by a group of people to the speaker then, Right Honorable Dugera. But because it fall within the supervision of my committee, it forwarded it to me, and we'll take it up to pursue it, to make it an act. So it's the making law. It's not limited to members of the National Assembly only. No, every individual Nigerians who think there's something for us to look into, they can put it in writing, send it to the National Assembly, send it to the Speaker. Even if you observe all the documents page by page of the Constitution, and you think there's need for you to amend some things, put it together, send it to the National Assembly. And that is why we have 4 years. At the other time we come, there will still be another opportunity for that assembly to work on the constitution law, because we can never have a perfect constitution, because we are all human beings. Something new can happen that nobody have ever observed it that can happen. So those present assembly will think of how they will cure it in the next assembly, in the next amendment. That is why we have assemblies coming in and going out. So I'm calling on Nigerians that what we need now is to embrace each other. Today, Fulani, tomorrow, Hausa, today, Igbo. All this. Why were we identified today? We have been living together in the past with peace. Why can't we go back? Why can't we recall those peace that we have been living together in the past based on? What we need now is all Nigerians, all the leadership of this country, at your level of the capacity, at the ward level, at the unit level, all the leaders, everybody, anybody within the age of 50 and above, should see himself as a critical stakeholder in this country. And at your level, engage your people, engage the youth. Let them see the reason why we should be living together in peace. Nigeria today, we have been envied by the powerful country in the world because of our market strength. And that is exactly what they are looking for, to separate us, to break us, so that we will not have that strength anymore. Nigerians should please think and let us make use of this strength to the benefit of this country. I was privileged to be in China some years back. Then I have opportunity of traveling with their train. From one bus stop to another, the train always have full passengers on board, with very, very low price. Come and see how much that country is making with that transportation alone for their government with cheaper rates. They are making use of that huge market of their population They are turning it to treasury. So Nigerians, we should be thinking of turning this huge market of this nation into something that will favor all of us. We should forget about ethnicity all over the land. If somebody is privileged to be president today, in 2 years in his office, another place will be thinking of, it's our turn to be the president. So you will even allow him to do the needful. So I'm pleading to Nigerians, we should please work together and let us start from our home. Let us start from our individual houses, extend it to the unique level, extend it to the world and the local government at large. And I'm happy, even in the process of either the security summit, the constitutional review, everybody is being hammering about it. That because of the failure of the local governments at the grassroots level, is the problem that's facing us right now. Because the pressures, when the local government is no more there to attend to the needs of the people, so the pressure now moves to the state and the state to the central. If we can make sure our local government is functioning. I was a council chairman, and I know how I can attend to the needs of my people when I was in local government. But today, I always pity those who are at the helm of affairs at the local government level, because there's no money for them to do anything. What happened? What caused this? From where? How are we managed to get to this level? I think it is need for everybody to speak out. It is not about what we were fighting for. And I want to appeal to my brothers who are clamoring for separation or decision all over the land. That is not the answer to their problem. Honestly, it's not the answer. The strength of this country is more than gold for us if we can utilize it.